Terrifying plane accident. A Continental Airlines 737 skidded off a runway into a ravine and burst into flames. The black box from the plane could contain answers about the cause of the crash. At least 38 passengers on the plane bound for Houston, Texas, suffered injuries. Mike Wilson survived that accident and even posted messages on Twitter moments after the crash. Mike joins us by phone. And Mike, I'm happy you're fine, and so many others. I know many people went to the hospital, but at least so far no fatalities, so that's great news. So Mike, tell me what happened.
Well, basically, we were heading down the runway for takeoff. Things were progressing pretty normally. Seemed fine. Right about the time I would have expected the plane to rotate and start to leave the ground, I felt, what I described as a shimmy, a little bit of a lateral movement. Something definitely I hadn't felt before during a takeoff. Right after that, pretty much immediately, the plane veered sharply off to the left and started to leave the runway. Once the plane was off the runway, the ride got really bumpy really fast. That was, at that point, just pretty terrifying because, I knew that there's a bunch of different ways it could go really bad. And, pretty quick after we left the runway and the ride got bumpy, it got really bumpy, and that's where we started to head off into the ravine there. We dropped probably a good 40 feet into the ravine, I think. The bottom just kind of fell out. Get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like going down a roller coaster or something. And then when we hit the bottom, that's where a lot of damage was done to the plane. Panels inside of the plane were just coming loose, and some of the bins with the luggage were popping open. At that point, I think that's where the engine fire on the right side started.
And where were you seated in the plane?
I was about 3 rows back from the exit row on the right-hand side at an aisle seat, so I saw the fire pretty much as soon as it started on that right-hand side, and it was burning pretty good by the time we slid to a stop.
And the people obviously have been a rather orderly exit. I mean, congratulations to everybody. Did a great job.
Yeah, it was surprising how little just complete panic there was during the exit process. I mean, there was some panic, and everybody obviously wanted to get off as quickly as possible, but for the most part, people were restraining themselves and not pushing and not, starting a stampede or trampling or anything like that. So I think as far as that goes, yeah, that's about as good as you can expect.
You going to get back in a plane soon?
I actually got back in a plane yesterday morning to fly back down here to Houston, so pretty much right after that.
Well, I think that's always a trick to get right back up on the horse, but it's an extraordinary story, and what great news that everyone survived it. I know there's some still in the hospital, but at least we're hopeful everything will work out. Thank you, and good luck in your next flight.
Thanks a lot, Greta.
Up next, has Carolyn Kennedy been Palinized? Well,